Hey there, everybody. Welcome on back to another episode of Emano Talk. I'm your host, Emano, and this is one of those special edition Smarkast session episodes where we talk wrestling. I got my co-host with me, Kev. Kev, say what's good to the people.
What's up?
Yeah, we're here for, I don't want to say it's a big weekend, but it's the first pretty much like, aside from NXT TakeOver 25, but it's like the first TakeOver like pay-per-view, like the first NXT real pay-per-view, and it's on a Sunday. We got NXT TakeOver Portland coming on up this Sunday, and we wanted to come at you live with our predictions. But I feel like honestly, this is really gonna make out for a great event, in all honesty, because NXT obviously has proven time and time again that they have pretty much the best quality in-ring wrestling, in my opinion, in all of wrestling. Well, how are you feeling about this? You excited about this one, Kev?
Yeah, for sure. The card looks great. I'm not gonna lie. I wish they were including the cruiserweight match that they're doing on NXT next week. Have you had a chance to watch NXT this week, by the way?
I got to see bits and pieces of it. I haven't finished it entirely just yet. But,
Okay.
at least catching up on the main points of what had happened.
Well, I'm just asking because I don't want to spoil anything. There was a number one contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship, and whoever won that was going to face Jordan Devlin, but it's next week on NXT. Like, just their regular taping. It's not going to be at Portland TakeOver. And I kind of wish it was because I just think they deserve that size of an audience and that kind of just excitement that whole crowd can get behind them. Because I know the two that are going to be in that match are really good, and I think it'll be really. So the number one contenders match was between Leo Rush and Angel Garza. So whoever won that is going to face Jordan Devlin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with the spoiler in all honesty, in this case, but I feel like Angel Garza took that one. I would have loved to see an Angel Garza win.
Yeah, no, he didn't actually. It was
Wow, so
Leo
Leo
Rush.
Rush took it.
Yeah. But it was a great match, really good
And I'm
match.
not
So
upset about that result at all because Angel Garza took the title from Leo Rush, so it kind of leaves like a little bad blood there for when, if Leo Rush wins the title back.
yeah, and I think him and Devlin are gonna have really good chemistry. I think everyone's gonna be surprised. But like I said, it's just so weird that they're doing it as just a regular weekly taping and not on the Takeover platform. But maybe it's because they already have 6 matches. They don't want to overdo it. But I do like the fact that they're doing 6 matches instead of the usual 5.
Yeah, I do like that, and I wish this would be one of the matches now that I know who should be wrestling. But in all honesty, I think this may be the first time that I look at an NXT TakeOver card, and I think to myself that, we've said it in the past that, like, that cruiserweight match, should have been included on this TakeOver and that TakeOver. We said it multiple times. I know we have. This is actually the first time I could say I'm actually not disappointed that it's not on the card, but I would have still liked to see it on the card. I can understand why they left it off of the card. But before we get there, a little like side story that I wanted you to bring up. Earlier today, you met Mr. and Mrs. TakeOver, right?
Yeah. So I was at the store and I just randomly ran into Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. Yeah, it was really random. I definitely wasn't expecting that, but we all live in Central Florida, so I'm sure they're always around in the area. I could have sworn in the past I've seen Kevin Owens getting into an Uber, but I couldn't confirm for sure. But honestly, I really think that's who I saw. And there's like a ton of wrestlers who live in my area, so but it was awesome. He was like super nice. I just asked for a picture really quick. I didn't want to take up too much of his time. He seemed pretty focused on what he was doing. So yeah, I just asked for a picture. I said thank you, and that was it. It was cool.
Johnny Target, no longer Johnny TakeOver. But that's pretty cool to see, man. I mean, especially like that they're in like, not only like a college town, but like they're obviously like in just like a regular town. It's not like they live in like LA or like, they're, up north by like New York with the rest of WWE and all that. Like they're in a very like, it's a big town, but it's like also kind of like almost secluded in Central Florida. So it's pretty cool to see that they're, still keeping, as humble as possible. And it seemed like he was just willingly and very nicely wanting to take a photo with you. Like the moment you asked, it was just like, yeah, absolutely. Like, let's take a photo. And then he just, went about his day from there. But you had mentioned to me that Candice LeRae looked a little jealous that you didn't take a photo with her.
Oh, and I don't know. I don't think it's like jealousy or anything. Just in the sense that like, I just felt bad that I didn't realize to like not even ask to include her after the fact. I don't know. I think I was just so caught off guard just seeing him there. I totally wasn't expecting it, and I didn't want him to like get away. I just wanted to take the picture with him really badly. So I just realized like over the split second after the photo that like I should have included her in it, and I was just like, hey Candace, I just just said hi to her, and but it was fine. I mean, like he was really nice about it, and they like went on about their business. But it was like it was just really cool that he was very genuine. Just like it was like a yeah, absolutely. Like he didn't even hesitate. Like it wasn't weird or anything like that. It didn't seem like I was like interrupting what he was doing. So that was just really nice that it felt like he welcomes that to an extent. As long as you just don't be obnoxious when you approach wrestlers. That's all. Just be chill with them.
Yeah, they're humans as well. It always pays off just to be a human yourself. But that's a pretty cool interaction. It was a little quick one, but just wanted to share that with the fans because I feel like they would definitely get a kick out of that. But let's jump on into these predictions, right? What are we waiting for? Let's just jump on in. The first match I got on the card here is Dakota Kai versus Tegan Knox in a street fight. I can't help but think that Tegan Knox is actually going to win this one. I think she needs like a real momentum starter in a street fight. This would be perfect for her to win and be able to gain that momentum, really start off that momentum. What about you though? What you thinking here?
I'm actually thinking the opposite. I think Dakota Kai is going to win it and should win this. I'm really liking her style. Honestly, when she started the heel turn, I wasn't really into it. If I'm being completely honest, I've mentioned that before on the podcast. But I like her wrestling style a lot. I still wish she was just a baby face, and I think you could make her heel down the line if you really wanted to. I think it was a little too soon to turn her heel.
Yeah.
Personally. But I mean, she could be doing worse. So it's not the worst thing in the world. It's one of those things where I disagree with one of the few times I disagree with NXT. But it's not one of those like SmackDown mistakes where I'm just like, dude, this is fucking terrible. It's like an acceptable thing, and it's just a difference. It's just a difference of opinion, I guess. But either way, I say Dakota Kai is going to win. I think it should be a decent match. I really think that Dakota Kai is going to do really well in the match. Like we're going to be really impressed by her style of fighting. She even just like in the last match on NXT, the last taping, she had that match. I don't know, just she looked really really solid in the ring. So I'm actually like kind of excited for that one. But I don't think Tegan Knox. I think her losing won't hurt it too much, honestly. I think Dakota Kai, it would be more detrimental if she lost, actually.
Yeah, well, I'll say it like this. I don't think Dakota Kai has no shot. I think she definitely has a shot at winning. But I just feel like Tegan Knox would kind of be the go-to because they even just released like that little like mini doc about her and her comeback with I think it was that she tore her ACL or whatever it was in her knee. And they just put out that documentary kind of for people to kind of probably get hype into this, like heading into this match. So this way, when she wins, if she wins, that they just have that kind of momentum to already go off of when they watch the match. It kind of adds a little more emotion because a lot of people who said they watched it, they said they really felt emotional. Like they felt like tears coming to their eyes because it was just such a raw moment when she messed up her knee. And then watching her come back to NXT and perform at the level that she's at. But I think that will be an underrated match on the card, honestly. I think a lot of people will probably be surprised by that match. However, the next match is honestly the match I'm most excited for. I'm sure not a lot of people are as excited as I am for it. But we have the NXT Tag Team title match, Undisputed Era, the champions versus the Broserweights. The Broserweights were a very odd combination at first, but given the entertainment value that they've added to their team, I really got to say they've become, and they're two of my favorite individual wrestlers, but like as a tag team, they've really, come around for me. Who do you got in this one?
I think the Broserweights are honestly going to take it, and I think that they're deserving of it. It's crazy how amazing their chemistry is. Like I was not expecting to be this just it's unbelievable, like their chemistry. I was not expecting to be on this level that it is, with all the puns that they make, and just even in ring, they just are so great together in ring. And all these little videos they've been doing,
I love the videos.
They're great, so I think they're on fire right now. And honestly, at this point, if you still are not on like the Matt Riddle train and you still like are saying you don't really get it, I think at this point then he's not for you, because I don't see how you can't get it at this point.
Yeah,
like he is
so
such
true.
a quality. I mean, aside from being such an amazing fighter as a shoot fighter, I mean, he's just adapted to the wrestling world so great, like so flawlessly. And I mean, like I love everything that guy does. He's one of my favorites overall in all of wrestling. So I mean, like that's like my guy. That's totally my wrestler. And
Yeah.
so I'm always gonna root for Matt Riddle, unless he's like, when he went against Velveteen Dream, that'd be like the one time I maybe wouldn't. But other than that, Matt Riddle's one of my favorites. So I definitely got them winning this.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think the Broserweights are going to win too. We already seen the prophecy falling apart with the Undisputed Era, and I think it's only fitting that Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne win this. As you said, like with those videos and everything, like those were phenomenal. But I think the prime example, if you want to specifically talk Matt Riddle, that proves his value, or at least how quality of a wrestler he is, or how worthy he is because of the fans being able to attach to him, is the idea that the Royal Rumble, right? When he joined the Royal Rumble, that everybody said that Brock like came at him because he had mentioned about retiring Brock. And then you hear about obviously Goldberg and him having their little confrontation. Now, at first it seemed like they told him to steer away from that, but now it seems like they're saying to engage in it because he keeps bringing it up. And I really like it because it's believable. It's like you said, he's a great shoot fighter. He was a competitive fighter in the UFC. Why are we going to ignore that fact if he could actually, if he were to have to, shoot fight? And I like that idea. I remember you mentioned before, like, believable shoot fights really can make up for great wrestling matches, or at least like the idea that like if this guy were to, have a shoot fight with you, like he is a believable victor in that fight. And that should attribute to like the quality of the wrestler as well as the ability of the wrestler. And Matt Riddle has both. He has the ability and he has that whole, you just can't help but think that he's going to go up from here kind of like vibe with him. Like I really love Matt Riddle. I kind of hope he stays in that NXT frame because I feel like if he goes to the main roster, it could mean trouble for him. Because obviously he has to become more family oriented and that's not really his persona. But I love what he's doing with Pete Dunne right now. If we're talking about the in the moment situation, the Broserweights are where it's at.
Yeah, and just overall, I heard recently, I think today I heard about this. Apparently, Vince McMahon isn't actually like as anti Matt Riddle as everyone is claiming he is. I'm hearing that he actually has not said much about like he hasn't told him to stop talking shit to Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, and to not be doing that. It's like you said that it's being encouraged now. I haven't heard it's one thing that if he's not Vince's favorite guy because of how he was in the Rumble, but I don't necessarily think that they're flat out telling him to not engage with Brock Lesnar or Goldberg or anything like that.
I
think
seems encouraged at this point.
Yeah, like I mean, how could it not be? Like it's like even if they weren't to do the match, like why wouldn't they still just hype it up? I mean, Vince definitely has that thing where he doesn't like to hype up something that he doesn't plan on doing, but I really think that down the line he will be willing to do it because he will see how much everyone would be into the idea. So it's just a matter of time, I think.
He's keeping the option open at least at this point.
Yeah, I really don't think he's going to be. I think he'll definitely be more open to it down the line, but that's not to say that I really don't think he's like super against it anyway at this moment. Like a lot of people are saying he is.
Yeah, and I love what he has going on. But the next match we have here is I'm gonna wait on the North American Championship. I'm gonna start on this one. I feel like this one's a good conversation starter. Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. Now this one, I feel so split down the middle about this one. Do you?
I mean, this is one of the most undecided on the card for me. Well, besides the main event, that's really hard for me to predict, even harder than Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. But first of all, I want to say this is probably the match I'm most excited for on the entire card. I think their chemistry is going to be on another level. I think this might be Finn Balor's best match ever. I'm going to say it now. I think this is going to be in like his top 3 of all time. I just think Johnny Gargano is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. I think he just knows how to bring everyone who's worthy of being in a main event match, he puts them on that level where it should be. He just puts on this quality of matches that I don't see in a lot of other wrestlers. It's so different with his matches. So with that being said, though, I still think Finn Balor is going to win this match just because I think with this heel turn, you have to go a little, you have to invest into it. And Johnny Gargano, honestly, he can take so many losses, and I just don't think it affects him. I don't know what it is. I just think he's so good that it really doesn't hurt him to keep losing. It just doesn't bother me when he loses. Like I still see him as one of the best, and it's like he's so good it's undeniable. So I think he's just one of those very few wrestlers where it's like John Cena, him, maybe Roman, like they can lose as many matches as possible as needed, and it really is not going to bring them down. It's just you still see them on that level that you've always saw them at. So I think Finn Balor is going to win because of that, but it's going to be one of those matches where there's going to be a lot of near falls. I think it's going to be really really they're going to be very equal during most of the match. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I got to agree. I think Finn Balor wins this because even if Johnny were to take the loss, he's not really taking a loss because this is going to be probably, I mean, between this and then Cole and Ciampa, like, I mean, those two matches already are, like, they're such perfect, like, head-to-head matches. But we'll get to the other one in a second. But, yeah, this really might be the best match of the night. I feel like this one will have the most emotion in the night because Gargano really knows how to, like, hook in every single fan that's in the crowd because he obviously appeals to kids, to adults, and beyond. But yeah, I got to go with Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor is going to take this victory because Johnny Gargano never loses, even when he actually loses in a match. But now we'll bring
and one other thing I want to add. It's this also a big reason why this match has so much potential to be so amazing. I truly think in NXT, Finn Balor is the best heel and Johnny Gargano is their best babyface.
Yeah.
Adam Cole's like the best champion I think they've had, and that's just my opinion. I know that there's a lot of arguments for other champions, but that's just my opinion. But he's not. Adam Cole to me is so he's not a full on heel to me. I know he technically is one, but I don't see him on the way that like the way that I see Finn Balor as a heel. I think he's like really a true heel now, and like I said before, he's turned it up like on every level. What I thought was wrong with him on Raw, it's like he's undone that being on NXT.
Because Triple H knew how. He knew how to work him.
Yeah, and I mean he's done a phenomenal job. They both. I mean, Finn Balor is like. I mean, even like what he's changed up his moveset, and it's like perfect now to me. Like, even the way he finishes his matches, that he doesn't finish with just the coup de grace anymore. He does that as a setup. Yeah, into the 1916 Brainbuster, and like that thing, like that's such a great finish to me. That's way more convincing. Like, not that the coup de grace wasn't on its own a great finisher, but it always looked like it just needed a little more to it. And like I don't know, now I think it looks so polished now, and like yeah, I'm just like really really excited for the match, obviously.
Yeah, no, that's definitely going to be, if not the best match, the second best match, in my opinion. One that's a little easier to predict, I feel, in my opinion, is the NXT North American Championship. We have Keith Lee, the champion, defending against Dominik Dijakovic. I can't help but think that Keith Lee's going to retain. I really don't have much more to say beyond that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason and any way that Dominik Dijakovic wins that. Honestly, I don't really want to see this match again. I'm getting kind of tired of seeing these guys. But I get it. I get why they keep doing it. It's like they just want, because they can. It's kind of just one of those things they can, and it's gonna still make for a good match. It's gonna be a really good match. It's just my interest level going into it isn't all that much, but I think they will pull me in as the match goes on. So while I'm not motivated right now about this match, like I think I'm gonna end up really enjoying it still because they're both just that good. Especially Keith Lee. He's just like, I don't even know what his ceiling is. Honestly,
he has the best energy right now out there.
Yeah, I'm like really excited. Like he's one of those wrestlers where I'm so excited to see like where he's gonna go, and I hope that I don't think anyone was going to let us down regarding him because I think he's too good. And I think he's exactly what WWE needs. Honestly, I can't wait until, one of the few times I say I can't wait until he goes to the main roster because I think he's one of those guys like Drew where he's just going to like flourish on there. I think he's just going to connect so much with the mainstream audience that he's just going to really be like a main eventer at that point. So
he really has that Gargano vibe to him where he could connect with children and adults, teenagers, like all age groups. Like he's just one of those wrestlers. So I absolutely agree there. And yeah, it's just hard to dispute that Keith Lee would win that match. Now, the next match that I have here is the NXT Championship, and if you want me to specify, it's the Women's Championship. We have Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. It obviously seems that Rhea Ripley's going to win. Her and Charlotte seem bound to clash at WrestleMania. Bianca Belair is just a filler, and I hate to say that because she really does deserve a real title opportunity, not as easily as predictable as this one, but they need somebody, and she was that person. So I'm going with Rhea Ripley in this one.
Yeah, and a quick note, I noticed that they already are back to calling the NXT Women's Championship the NXT Women's Championship. So it looks like they're done just referring to the men's and the women's as just the NXT Championship. Even on Wikipedia, when I look at it, it says NXT Women's Championship again. So I think they're sticking to that, I guess. I don't know, just a quick comment about that. But
Yeah, well, I don't know if you saw what Triple H said. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no.
Triple H was mentioning in an interview recently where it was, I don't, don't quote me on this exactly, but along the lines of that the reason they went with that was because like on social media people were fighting so hard for equality, and it's not even like quote unquote fighting, like it was like fighting in the sense of like this is so unfair. And truth be told, like I see nothing unfair with actually properly labeling, what gender the title belongs to. It makes total sense. It confuses the audience when you call, two separate titles the same thing. It makes no sense. And especially when it comes to the idea that there's no mixed wrestling in, NXT, you got to make sure you do that properly. So kudos to him for being honest about that, because he even said he's like, it's just annoying to like, it was like along the lines of like get beat over the head with it every single time it gets brought up.
Yeah, and I mean the small problem that I saw with it was like if Rhea Ripley, like when she went on to Raw, they specified she was the NXT Women's Championship. But if they were to just say that's Rhea Ripley, the NXT Championship, it could be confusing. Like someone would think she'd be Adam Cole or she'd be Ciampa or whoever for the actual like NXT Championship that everyone's always known. It's just like very soon of a transition. So, like I said, I never thought there was a problem with taking out the word women's from there, but they just need to make it. They had to differentiate it somehow. I just think it didn't work to have a men and a women's division under just the same title. I just don't think it works. But I'm all for taking out women's, whatever the case may be. If you want to change up, just make it different, just to have some distinction. But just put a little more thought into it, if anything, if they really want to go that way. But that's enough of that. I've rambled enough about that. So Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. I really wish Bianca was going to win this match, but I think there's no way it's happening.
No way at all.
I think not to say Rhea has been killing it, and I love Rhea. It's just the thing is that Bianca, I just connect with her way more. I think she really is the EST, and but it doesn't matter what this whole feud and build up with them. I think has been great for Bianca, and I see her she gets better and better. Like her mic skills have just been improving, and even her wrestling is getting better. I think she's improving all around, and she's just going to continue to improve because that's how she is. And I don't know. I love everything about Bianca Belair. So she's for sure going to be a women's champion one day. It's not if, it's when. And but for the time being, I think Rhea's going to win this match. That's just how it is. It's way too soon to take that title off of her. It would be much more damaging for Rhea to lose than Bianca at this point. But Bianca's going to look great in the match.
Yep, agreed. And then the main event of the night, and we previously slightly spoke about it, Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa. I really don't know where to go with this. In all honesty, if I'm going with what I believe is going to happen, I think this is not going to be the last match they have against each other. I actually think Cole's going to retain. And I don't think it's going to be a clean finish. I feel like maybe something might happen. Like maybe because of the fact that Undisputed Era is going to probably lose the tag titles, maybe there's some form of like interference, because obviously we've been seeing like the idea that like Tommaso Ciampa going to jump Undisputed Era and then them trying to go after him. Like it seems like there's something along the lines like they all got beef with him to that extent. So I feel like something might happen where Adam Cole still retains, and it's going to set up a match at the TakeOver that's going to be in Tampa, I think. And I think they're going to have a rematch there, and then a new feud will begin from there, with whoever wins the NXT Championship, which more than likely in my eyes, if it's Mania weekend, probably Tommaso Ciampa, but I think this time it's going to be Cole.
Yeah, I think Cole's going to win this time, and I just think there's more to Cole winning than there is Ciampa right now. I think you can hold off on Ciampa winning. There's something in the chase for Ciampa trying to get that title back. And especially like you said, I agree with you where the Broserweights are probably going to win the tag team championships. And so if Undisputed Era is losing the tag team championships, you don't want them to lose all the gold. I don't think. You don't want you don't want to kill them off just like that.
No, you want a
So
slow burn.
yeah, exactly. So I think there's a lot, and I think Cole's killing as champion. I don't know what everyone else thinks about it, but I'm really into Cole as a
He
champion.
could be
I
champion
think,
for another year, and I would be okay with that.
yeah, and I think at this point he should be the longest reigning NXT champion. I think he's absolutely deserving of it. He may not be for everyone, but I'm all for Adam Cole as champion and as like the top guy. So. And also I don't think there's any rush to bring him up to main roster. I think he's just feels right in NXT still. So I think Adam Cole's going to win the match. This match should be amazing. I think everyone knows that already. And I just don't think Ciampa really, honestly, I don't think he needs a title right now. Maybe some of you will disagree with that, but I just, like I keep saying, I just think there's more in Adam Cole winning this. But I mean, if he didn't win this, I think it would still be fine, But it'll be interesting to see. It'll be really interesting to see. There's a lot of different ways they can go with this match. I don't think anyone's really gonna know for sure what's gonna happen. It's kind of hard to predict.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad either way with who wins, but I think you get more out of the story if Cole does retain, because I think it would be a lot better with the slow burn. Let the Tommaso story kind of like rise, because obviously he wants Goldie back so bad, and don't make it so predictable in the sense that people are probably expecting him to win. I feel like a lot of people feel this is an easy prediction, but in all honesty, when you look at it, it's really not. Like, how do you want the story to really go? Like, how much do you want the fans to be involved? I think if you want the maximum out of both of those categories, you go with Cole. So I'm glad we both agree on that. But those are our NXT Portland TakeOver predictions from there. We were really excited to bring them to you guys. We got Super Showdown coming in a couple of weeks as well, or a few weeks. So we'll definitely do a prediction for that, as much as we really don't enjoy watching those pay-per-views. But we definitely want to let you guys know what we're thinking about it when the time does roll around and we know a little more about what will be happening there. But I know Kevin is definitely bidding everyone a farewell, and I'm going to look to wrap things up here. So want to just say a thank you and much love to everybody who's tuning on in or watching this right now. You can follow us on social media at Emano Talk. That's at EMANOTALK. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, and all podcast platforms. And you can watch completely free or listen completely free on EmanoTalk.com. We still have some Emano Talk merch available. The dad hats are sold out, but we do still have pocket tees for $20. Very limited, so make sure you reach out now to get yours, or go on the site and cop yours now. We got a lot of guests coming up, so go on the website as well. You'll see our upcoming guest schedule. But other than that, I just want to say once again, much love, everybody, and I hope you guys have yourselves a great night. Take care.